Hello, this is Steve, your YouTube English teacher with another video, and this week we're doing some writing, very popular with my viewers it seems, some of the most popular videos I do, and obviously we do this in school, you're always going to be tested on writing, and we're trying to get into some details about not just saying here's some writing, here's what's good, here's what's bad, here's what's wrong, no, but really breaking down how to go from an idea to a good sentence or a good part of a paragraph that you can use in your writing. So we're still talking about New Year's resolutions like last year's video because it's still the start of the year and we are still positive that everything's going to be great. And we're going to think about common resolutions such as read more books. How do we express that ideas in different way? Keeping it clear and accurate, thinking what's the function that I'm using as I write. So here we might say you are writing about your intentions, and then different ways of expressing that with clarity, with accuracy, and with hopefully a good range of grammar and vocab. Keeping it simple so you know it's correct, but saying it in different ways. Here's a clear example. Look, instead of I want to, we can say I would like to. We know it's correct. We know it's just a good little unit of language to express our intentions. Instead of saying read more books, I might say read a wider range of books. Wide range, you've seen that on your use of English for B2 and C1. It's a common expression, so let's use it to show that we can also use it. And instead of to get smarter, to see new perspectives. Some other thing about to broaden my horizons, to increase my intellect. There's lots of ways of saying it, aren't there? So you can see how I'm taking this idea, which is in your head, maybe in your head in your native language, read more books, lire, leer, and so on. But take that idea and then express it in different ways, being careful to make sure that I'm just like building up bits of language that I know. And if all the foundations are correct, then the final sentence, the final paragraph, the final essay will also be correct and hopefully quite impressive and quite good. So we're thinking about that, how to express different intentions, different functions, like intentions in clear, good writing. This one's a bit of an example, so what I've done is I've shown you some more. Instead of I want to, I would like to, I'm interested in, and so on, you can see all of the different functions of how to express an intention. Different ways of saying reading, getting through books, and of course we notice I am interested in, preposition, ing. Consuming literature, getting hooked on books, being specific, instead of just saying books, say sci-fi books, English books, and different reasons to do this, to improve, to develop. Again, different ways of saying getting smarter. So that's an example of how we might take an idea and with a bit of thought and planning and thinking, manage to express it in a better but still accurate way. Now it's going to be your turn to do this, and this is where we hand over to the class. You pause the video and we think of these different language functions which you will be using in a lot of your writing for whatever essay or exam or whatever you're doing, in terms of intentions, advantages, disadvantages, opinions and reasons. Can you write two more versions of each of these sentences? So you're writing the same thing. Do not start writing about doing yoga or running 5 kilometers. No, we are talking about reading books to get smarter, a benefit of doing exercise. So your sentences will have the same idea, but they will have mostly different words. Instead of benefit, advantage, or some different way of saying it. The dividing lines there are to break it down to make sure we're replacing each part with something that means the same but uses different vocab. So pause the video, write it, this is where you are exercising your skills, where you are improving. If you want, put it in the comments, send it to me, send it to a friend who you're learning English with, send it to your English teacher who's always happy to correct any doubts you've got. Send it to ChatGPT and say, is this correct? And ChatGPT will tell you. But the point is, do it. If you don't do it, you won't improve. Now I want to show you what I've done, because I've done it. Talking about advantages, how do we write this sentence in a different way? Well, we might say instead of a benefit, a positive of working out is that it improves your mood. But what exactly would we say? Well, it's use of English part 1, isn't it? Of course, in these videos, we're going to do some use of English. Which word from these fits best? Pause the video, choose your final answer. 3, 2, 1. The answer is A. A positive outcome is another way of saying a benefit. It's a nice expression. Or I might say On the side, being more active will make you physically and mentally stronger. It's the same sentence, but what's the best expression? Pause the video, get ready to say your answer. 3, 2, 1. On the plus side is the best expression. On the good side, I sort of understand it, but that's not the expression. The expression is on the plus side, meaning the positives, the benefits, the advantages. So there we go, a little bit of use of English to go with our advantages. Let's keep going with the different functions so we can do all of them. Disadvantages, well, we said the disadvantage of eating healthier is that it's expensive. Now we're doing use of English part 3. A word with side, that means disadvantage. From the context, we know it's disadvantage because we're saying the same thing. Varied diet, higher cost, we get the idea. The word is a downside. A downside of means a disadvantage. What about this one? Eating fruit and vegetables can be boring, let's be honest, if you're just eating carrots and onions every day. It's a downside, it's negative, it's starting a sentence, unfortunately. Okay, well done for your use of English part 3 about disadvantages. Let's move on to opinions with a little bit of use of English part 2 this time, just because it fits better. Sorry, they're not in order. Don't shoot me. I'm doing the best I can. But if we remember, our next point about opinions was, I think making new friends is important, which could also be said in a way like this, as I'm concerned, forming friendships is vital. And of course the answer is, as far as I'm concerned. Or, it's clear me that creating bonds with people is fundamental. Creating bonds, making friends. It's clear, I think to me sounds better. I'm trying to think, it's clear for me that to me sounds much better. I think that's more common. So that's what we're going for, isn't it? The thing that sounds best in English, even if one is maybe possible. Clear to me sounds better. And finally, giving reasons why we need to make new friends. It improves your social skills. Or we could say due to the fact that, or we could say since we are developing communication and we are socializing, all these same ideas about why we should have friends. So let's do a quick bit of use of English to finish. It's on the topic of making friends and why is that important. We know how this works. Use the word given, complete the second sentence, 5 words maximum, because we're making this B2. And even though they're a little bit difficult, but 5 words is fine. Pause the video and here come the answers. So question 1, we have an although despite. We know despite needs an ing. The verb is live. So despite living is going to be 1 mark. And alone with own is going to be on his own. We know Terry is a man because it says he, so on his own. 1 mark for despite living, 1 mark for on his. And secondly, my friend said I should start doing yoga. My friend encouraged me to, because you should do it is encouraged me to. And now up. Start doing yoga, a phrasal verb with up, that means start doing it. Take up yoga, encouraged me to take up yoga. So there we go, some nice use of English part 4 questions. Aren't they fun? They are really satisfying if we get those right. Okay, so that's like the nuts and bolts, the mechanics of making nice sentences on this topic of resolutions with intentions, advantages, disadvantages, opinions and reasons, which you'll be using in lots of your writing. Let's put it into practice. We're going to think about my New Year's resolution for 2025, and here I have got 4 plans for this piece of writing. Your job is to rank them from best to worst. Pause the video, think about what makes a good plan, think about why these are good or what they are lacking, and rank them from best to worst. I will tell you what I think now. I think the best plan is D. You can see it's the longest. It's clear. We know what we're writing about, as in yoga, when, where. It's got the details, the benefits, and it's all relevant. Obviously, it's all relevant because there's nothing that shouldn't be there. It's about yoga, how to do it, how it changed my life, and so on. I think the second best one is C, which is similar, that it's got lots of details and it's all relevant and it's quite clear, but we are lacking why do you want to get your B2 French certificate? You don't just say why in the plan, give me a reason why, or else you might be making it up later. Then A is same, but is lacking a bit more detail, as in paragraph 1. Don't say when and where, say you will go on Tuesday and Thursday. Say the gym is next to my school. Say what the motivation is. What is my motivation? That I don't know, that I want to look great for the beach in summer, something like that. That I want to be for my health. I want to be at 60 kilos for my health, or whatever it is. And I think the worst one then is B, because it's really lacking detail. What happened last year? Something with books, I guess, but you need to say. So the point here is a detailed plan makes the writing much better. And please write a plan. I don't know how you can, I mean, I'm saying please do it, but try and do it without it is probably not going to be as good. That's why I say please write it. I've seen this many, many times from students. I couldn't do it without a plan. I wouldn't know what I was writing about if I didn't sit down first and think, okay, in my introduction, I'm going to have this little introductory sentence, idea, topic, and then my 2 ideas, so my paragraphs and my conclusion. So it's your job now to write one. You can write about your own New Year's resolutions if you want, but maybe I think it's more fun if we write about one of these New Year's resolutions, which are a bit more ambitious and crazy and give you more creative opportunities to write something a bit different. Start writing a plan, and then in class what we'll do is something very fun. I'll get the students to all write a plan, and then we will mix up all the plans and they will have to write the essay of the plan they receive, which really shows how important the plan is, because if it's a good plan, writing the essay is easy. If it's a bad plan, you're in trouble. So that's the little trick in class, which you could do with your friends. One of you write a plan, the other one write the essay, or you could do in class if you're doing this in class. Suggest it to your teacher. Say, hey teacher, I saw a great YouTube video where we wrote a plan and then the rest of the students had to write an essay based on someone else's plan. But anyway, there you go. That's your writing homework for this week. Hope that was useful, and I hope 2025 brings you every goal that you want to achieve. See you next week.